It was like, hi, little sister. She was great for me. It was like, hi, little sister. She was great for me.
First thing I want to say to all of you is that, I really...
It was like, hi, little sister.
So hard this week. You know, what we're doing is very ambitious.
She was great.
Anoa is based on an old tale of a maiden who refuses to marry the young men that her parents wish her to. At the beginning of the play, Anoa meets a man, Kofi Ako, and informs her parents have found a man that I want to marry. Her parents do not approve of this choice. A fight ensues, and as a result, Anoa...
The best way to
is
shave your head
determined to leave
in
the
under
village
2
of
minutes.
Gebi and never
Say goodbye to...
return. While on the road with her husband, Kofi Ako, Kofi suggests that they buy slaves to help them with the work.
Anoa, who told you that buying men is wrong?
I shall not feel happy with slaves around. Kofi, no man made a slave of his friend and came to much himself. It is wrong. It is evil.
Where did you get these ideas from? Who told you all this?
Are there never things which one can think out for oneself?
So now you're saying I am a fool?
Oh, the gods of my father!
So the gods of your fathers do for you. I know you think you are the wise one of the two of us.
Kofi, are you saying all this just so I will take a knife and go cut my throat?
I'm lying.
When and where and what did I do to give you this idea?
This is the way you have always...
Oh, Kofi!
Kofi buys slaves anyway against her wishes and begins to build his empire. The play continues with their fighting over years about this issue of children, slavery, and marrying another wife, until finally it ends tragically.
It's a timeless woman's story. It's a timeless love story in a strange way. And it also has that ability then to bring into the discussion what African women also have faced historically, but also continue to face.
She was in California at the end of the 60s, right in the heart of all of the civil rights movement, of the anti-war movement, the hippie movement, the explosion of counterculture, feminism, everything that the 60s conjures up. I found that fascinating. So she was writing a play not only about her country and about where she was from, but she was writing it through the lens, at least from my perception, of someone who was in California at the time.
I do not think there's a single woman in this land who speaks to her husband in the way you do to me. Why are you like this, Anoa? Why? Why can't you behave like other normal women? Other normal people?
I still don't know what you mean by normal. Is it abnormal to want to continue working?
Yes, if there is no need to.
But my husband, is there a time when there is no need for a human being to work? After all, our elders said that one never stops wearing a hat on a head which still stands on its shoulders.
I do not see the reason why...
I am struck by Ama Ate-Edu's incredible imagination and ability to take that imagination and channel it into poetry. And I don't just mean traditional verse poetry, I mean theatrical poetry.
I remember once, my grandmother told me of her travels. She told of the great places she had been to and the wonderful things she had seen.
Of the sea, that is bigger than any river and boils without being hot. Of huge houses rising to touch the skies. Houses whose foundations are wider than any river I had ever seen. Tell me, Nana, who built the houses? She said, why do you want to know? The pale men. Well, who are the pale men? I asked. You ask too many questions. They are the white men. Well, who are the white men? I asked. A child like you should not ask questions. Why did they build the big houses? I asked. They say they built the big houses to keep the slave. What's a slave, Nana? Shut up, child! You should not ask questions. A slave is one who is bought and sold.
Where did the white men get the slaves? I asked. I do not know, child. You are frightening me, child. I was not there. It was too long ago. No one talks of these things anymore. All good men and women try to forget. They have forgotten. Anwa is a very difficult play, very uncomfortable. The only thing is that it is us here. I mean, I can be as harsh, or as a playwright, I could be as open, as harsh, as critical. But it was all here in terms of Ghana. But the dilemma has to do with our relationship to the African diaspora. It's a collective horror.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Coming for to carry me.
Kena, of 5 years old, Mama, Mama, why do you look so quiet? I'm thinking. Kena, are you thinking again? Yes. Kena, Mama, do people have to think all the time? Yes, child. It looks like we have to all the time.
He said you don't have any legs.
Oh, yes.
See any legs?
Because you didn't see any legs. Because I was wearing a long dress.
Skirt, yes.
We writers come at least in two clear categories. There are writers who, as Buchi said so often, when she started writing, you know, she was a mother of about 5 children. And she said as soon as she saw her children off to school, she literally was able to push back the plates and